Hello. Spring 2025 from Natasha Denona. She has given us the Bloom Palette. So today I'm going to share details, swatches. We're going to create a couple of looks from the palette. And let's see what this thing's all about. Shall we? So yes, there was a Bloom product from Natasha Denona prior to the eyeshadow palette. So let's start off with packaging. Outer carton is very spring, very soft and pretty. I like it. Turn it around on the back for some more details. Please pause to read if you like ingredients and details and things like that. Palette is made in Italy, 24-month shelf life, which, hey, I like that. I know a lot of us have more than one eyeshadow palette in the collection, so it's nice to have a little extra time to enjoy. You know, here we go. Here is the Bloom palette. Here we go. It's not too thick, not too bulky. Details are nice. Outer packaging matches the actual palette, and this is nice. On the back you have these. These you can push in and pop out the actual shadows if you want to move them around or if you want to transfer them anywhere. And then you have some more details right here. As usual, you open it up to a nice full-size mirror. It does have a little protective thing, so that's that. And here are the shades. Here are all of the shades. 15 shades. It's giving warm. It's giving pretty. So this is a 15-pan warm toned eyeshadow palette of new floral hues in Natasha's iconic formula. And it's crafted to create the perfect springtime look. The Bloom eyeshadow palette is designed to deliver professional quality results for all skill levels. I am very proud to say that I have experienced every single one of Natasha Denona eyeshadow palettes, and Metropolis is still my favorite. I wait for the day patiently when we get a new one of those, an updated variation of that. Let's get into swatches of the palette and then we'll create a couple of looks. Swatching the shadows did not disappoint. They're very Natasha Denona, very nice quality, very smooth to the touch. I didn't have any of them that felt gritty or chunky or anything like that. All of the glimmery, shimmery, sparkly shades felt nice and smooth to the touch, and the mattes as well. So I'm just going to let the shadows speak for themselves, and let's create a couple of looks and let's see what we think. As far as eyeshadow base today, I just used concealer and brought it up. Now, as per usual, I will be creating multiple different looks with multiple different moods in mind. I want to approach the palette in a way, hey, I want to wear this every day. Let's do something soft and pretty. Hey, I'm just in the mood for a little bit of sparkle, a little bit of glimmer, a little one and done, if you will. Hey, I'm in the mood for something fun, or it's date night. Let's go in, whatever the occasion and whatever the mood. So we're going to create a couple of different looks with that in mind. I'm going to start off with this fluffy brush here. This is from Alter Ego. This is the 205. I'm going to go into the shade Ren. And let me just show you what is happening when I pick up. We're getting a little bit of kick up. It's a nice soft texture and consistency, but nothing to fear. You know, we got to share all the details, all the things. So I'm just going to tap the excess. I'm going to start off with just blending this directly in the crease. Doing so nicely. I'm using a nice bigger fluffier brush, so I'm going for a more diffused application, and it's giving me that. So I'm going to go back into Ren and continue to build and blend in the crease. With my Alter Ego 204 brush, this is a little bit smaller of a blender brush, nice for a little bit more precision. I am going to go into the shade Floss. Floss? Yes, this one right here. And whatever's left, I will bring that a little bit in the crease, not too much. I don't want to take away from that first shade, but I do want to add just a touch of depth. Back in with that 205 and Ren. Same 205, let's go into the shade Keen. This is what I want to use to just blend the edges and bring this up just a touch more. But this is going to give me that soft, blended effect. These three shades have blended very easily, very beautifully. Okay, number 203 from Alter Ego. I'm going to go into the shade Flor. And for this formula, it's a little bit stiffer in the sense that I'm not getting a ton of kick up and fallout when I apply or pick up with the brush. Let me show you. So that's good. And now with that shade, I want to apply this directly onto my lid. Back in with the 205, no additional product. I just want to smooth the edge here so everything is blended and smooth. Probably say, we're probably going to say smooth a lot. With my What's Up Beauty R107 brush, it's like a nice little pointy pencil, larger kind of brush. This is natural hair. The Alter Ego brushes are synthetic. But I want to take this brush and go into Crisp. And I want to use that for inner highlight. Doing a little touch of mascara just to bring it together. This first look is very soft and pretty, very approachable, very easy, very wearable. And I have to say, all of the shades blended, applied, and look very, very pretty. For my next look, let's hop over and do a totally different extreme. I am back in with my 205 fluffy brush from Alter Ego. I'm going to pick up the shade Brick. Ooh, okay, let me show you. This one's a bit softer than Ren was. You can see it kind of fell down into Robin there. So this I'm going to start on the outer eye and then blend directly in the crease. Okay, it's doing so nicely. Going back into the Brick shade very lightly because this one's giving me a lot of kick up, but that's okay. It's not a deal breaker, but of course I want to share as many details with you as possible. So just continuing to build and blend on the outer eye and in the crease. I cleaned that brush off, so I am going to go into Keen. It's a bit lighter. And I want to use this to diffuse the edge. Back in, tap the excess. Back into Brick. A little more on the outer eye just to build this up just a touch. I really, really like this shade. Honestly, in my humble opinion and my lifestyle and the way I do my makeup some days, I totally see myself using this shade Brick as a one and done. And it's very creamy and it's blending very, very nicely. Okay, Sonia G Builder Brush. I'm going to go into the shade Ren. We have used this already, I know. But I want to take this on my inner corner right here. I like these colors together. I think it's going to go nice with the lid shade. Same brush, and I'm going to go into Petal. I'm going to pick up Petal and keep that directly on the beginning portion only. See, with the Ren, I kind of brought it in. With Petal, I just solely want to brighten right here. Okay. Back in with Ren, and just to diffuse the two colors, make it pretty, make it nice. Oof, I just got an idea. Petal and Ren on the lid. Ah, and then a little something on the outer eye. Okay, I really like colors like this, so. All right, now for the lid shade. And I'm gonna go in with my finger at first. This is so pretty, isn't it? Okay, let's put that on the lid. And it is going on so nice. So pretty. And I actually really like this pink gradient into this ember shade. Very pretty. This is fun. It's a little bit more, but it's still nice and approachable. And I'd feel very comfortable wearing this wherever, for whatever. Let's put on some mascara and kind of pull it together just a bit more. This is the Finding Ferdinand mascara. I really love the wand on this. And this is actually a tubing mascara. Look number 2 complete. Both nice, fun. And like I said, although this one's a little bit more, it still feels quite wearable. Shadows blended, built. Great. Really great formula. A true pleasure to work with. Feeling like we're off to a good start. Both of these looks have me feeling soft and pretty. And again, the formula is pretty nice. It's very Natasha Denona. But we want more. We want to see more. So let's create some more looks. I cleaned off my brushes. But I'm going to start off with the 204. And I'm going to go into Robin. I'm going to start with this one. This, I'm going to focus on the outer eye, bring it in the crease, build and blend, and I'm intentionally using the smaller brush, intentionally, can't speak, using the smaller fluffy brush because I want to keep it less diffused, this look in particular. Build and blend. These matte shades, they're very, very nice, very creamy. No patchy issues. They blend very nice and easy. Same brush. Let's go into Clover. Just pack that on the brush. Tap. And let's put this on the outer eye. Build it. I'm keeping this look somewhat rounded. I usually will like bring it out like a little bit of a cat eye shape, but this look I'm going for a little bit more of a rounded shape on the eye. So you'll see me hold the brush like this to build that darker shade. Clean the brush off, and then we'll go back into Robin, which was that first shade, and then use this to blend, keeping everything nice and diffused and soft, which it's doing really, really nicely. The shades are beautiful in formulation, very easy to work with. Now for the lid, I'm going to go in with my Natasha Denona Builder brush and pick up the shade Rue. Just pack that on my brush. This feels very creamy on the brush. Very creamy. And this right on the lid. Now, by keeping everything close to the crease, not going too high, keeping the eye rounded, I feel, although there's color to this look, it feels a lot more wearable than if you were to just blow everything out. Because I feel like when you blow out your looks, they become a little bit more dramatic. I don't know, that's just my 2 cents. What's Up Beauty R107 pencil brush. Let's go into this shade here, Lush. Let's use this for our inner corner. And just bring it inwards just a little bit. And then I'm going to go back into the brush I used for the lid shade and just pat, so there's a nice transition with the colors. This is so soft and pretty, and again, it's color, but it's very, 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 very nice together. I have to be careful using the word wearable because it's color. Not everyone's going to think colors are wearable, but again, I feel it's the technique and keeping it very close that keeps it a bit softer. Another very pretty look. Let's start off with 205 Fluffy Brush into the shade Keen. This I'm just gonna put kind of roughly higher up in the crease area. Very messily just putting it. Same brush, let's go into this shade here, Floss. Nice and softly diffused. And that's why I love this brush. So building the outer eye, and then whatever's left, we'll bring it directly into the crease. Alter Ego 203 brush, I'm going into Petal. I'm going to pack Petal all over the brush and right on the lid. Nice and bright. Open that eye up. Back in with that fluffy brush. I don't have any product, but I'm going to softly blend so that it's not as harsh as it looked. I want that shade to open up my eye, but I don't want it to just overpower everything. So let's kind of build, blend, and back and forth a little bit until I get the desired shape of the eye that I'm going for. We've got a lot of matte shades in here. We have to create an all matte look, right? It would only be suiting. I'm going to completely clean off the fluffy brush on my microfiber towel right here. And just blend. Very, 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 very nice. Grab my little detail brush here from Wayne Goss. This is the E6. Let's go into Bark. I'm very close to the lash line. I'm just going to tightline a bit. With Petal, I am going to put right there on the inner, so we're nice and bright. Yeah, that's a nice matte, all matte look. Again, I'm here to show the versatility of the palette, get nice wearable looks out of the palette. Of course, it's fun to be dramatic and use all the shades at once, but I want to be as practical as possible. We're spending the money on the palette. Let's get as much use out of it as possible. Now this eye, it's very soft, all matte. We went in with that brown shade on the tight line, so I am going to go in with a brown mascara. I feel like that's a lot more light every day, so let's give that a go. Yeah, this is giving that nice everyday wear this to work kind of eye look. I love that. And yeah, you look at the palette, you say, ooh, I'm only going to get, you know, dramatic looks. No, two very different looks, but both very, very wearable. And again, this one is an all matte look. We had to do it. And look how nice and creamy and beautiful these matte shades look on the lid. Yeah. All right, so we've done 4 looks so far. I've got one more in me. Let's do it. I have been dying to dive into this shade. I love colors like this, those shifty, fun shades. I wear colors like this on my lid all on their own with a fluffy brush almost every single day. I love them. So I save the best for last. Now let's create our final look. 205, that fluffy brush from Alter Ego. I'm gonna go into Ren. Ren, yeah, I really like this shade. It does nice to blend into the crease and add a little wash of color. I really like this shade. It's one of my favorites from the palette so far. Definitely see myself using this one a ton. So just blending this into the crease. I really like how this color diffuses. Very soft. It's giving you that soft, pretty spring vibes, 100%. Same brush, very, very, very lightly. We're going to touch into Bark, and I'm going to add just a little depth on this eye. And that's the greatest part of using a fluffy brush on these darker colors, is that you'll definitely get a lot softer, but you'll get the depth you're looking for, but I can still control my application, and it's not too much intensity too quickly. Just slowly build it up. You just get the shape with those 2 colors. Very pretty. I am 100% always going to create looks that I would personally wear, even when they're colorful, okay? So, I like this little vibe we have going on. I'm going to go back into Ren, and which was the first shade that we put on in the crease, and just put a little bit more, because why not? Shade I've been waiting for the whole tutorial. Hello, hello. Yeah, that's excitement for me. Is Equinox. And I'm going to use my finger. Look how pretty. This one gives shift, and it's so pretty. Okay. Right on the lid. Oh! Yes. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I love. Why am I so far? I'm sorry. I've been this far this whole time. I'm so sorry. I got so into the palette. My apologies. But everything blended and applied really, really nicely. Ooh. I am going to take the shade Crisp. It's nice. And with my finger right here on the center. Just a little extraness, okay? Yeah. And then back into Equinox right on the beginning portion. I am going to go into Bark with my little detailed brush. We're going to do the same thing on the tight line we did with our other look. R107 brush. I'm going to go into Petal. I'm going to start with that. Okay. Put that on the inner corner. And you're probably like, what are you doing? That's a matte shade. Hold tight. Clean that brush off and then go into Crisp. Cocoa from Tom Ford. I'm going to put that in the waterline, and then let's do a little something on the lower lash. R107 and Bark. I'm going to focus this very close to the lower lash line. Mascara. I overlined my lips for the first time ever the other day. And I'm not ashamed to admit that I liked it. And it was funny because I actually did it on accident. But when I saw myself with it, I was like, oh, wow. A little bit of West Coast from Tom Ford. All right, we did 5 looks. Here's our 5th look from the Bloom palette. I love the shift. I mixed a couple of the other shades in there, and everybody worked and blended together. Oh, so nicely. Listen, my eyebrows feel very intensely shaped. And I'm actually using a new product. L'Oreal sent this over. So, yeah, bear with me as I figure it out. Okay, but yeah. Anywho, 5 looks from the new Natasha Denona Bloom palette. I wanted to focus on creating approachable, wearable looks. When I make a look and I say it's approachable and wearable, it's a look that I would wear. I personally don't mind wearing some color out. It doesn't have to be a ton, but I like color. I think color is fun and color is very wearable. Just depends on how. Okay, so I wanted to share looks like that with you with this palette. And can I get a ton of use out of it? Is it going to be worth it? I think so. I think you can definitely create very wearable looks, and they don't all have to be super colorful or super intense. I love that I was able to share an all matte look with you that was very soft and pretty, and use the dark shade to create a little bit of tight line. You can even do a little wing. One and done's galore. And yeah, you got a nice fun shade here, and there's some other fun shades like the look we're wearing now. But overall performance, quality, consistency of the shadows, everything top notch. Natasha Denona through and through. Take a look at the palette now that we have used it. Here's how everything's looking. Yeah, we got some kick up there, some softer than other shades. I will again reiterate that the sparkly, shimmery, special shades, if you will, they all are very creamy to the touch. Minimal fallout for the most part. I used finger, we used brush, all around every shade performed really, really nicely. Is this a color story that's revolutionary and completely new? No, but is it an approachable, wearable, pretty as all heck color story? Yes. So, good palette, nice quality, creates beautiful looks. I like that the shadows were able to speak for themselves. I have to say, I actually really like that this look does not look like it came out of a palette like this. Because this palette, when you look at it, it's warm, it's peachy, it's fun and all that. But then you create something like this. So I feel like that really helps show the versatility. And I hope I did a good job at showing you all the versatility in the palette while all remaining wearable and something that you're going to want to reach for the palette and use it and get your money's worth. But of course, let me know what you guys think down below. As always, thank you so much for spending your time with me today and allowing me to share these looks with you. Take a moment and give today's video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. Stay beautiful, guys. I will see you very, very, very soon. Bye.